Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and I have a really cute card for you today using this Happy Hedgehog right here. And the Happy Hedgehog is one of the stamp sets in the new mini catalog. Let me show you what page it's on. I should have marked that down. Hold on, let me look real quick. It's on page 64 of the new catalog. So looky here, look at all the cute things you could make with this Happy Hedgehog stamp set or stamp bundle. It's really got a punch that goes with it, so it's a punch bundle. And this punch, this stamp set I have heard is what they call a scene builder stamp set, which I've never really realized they were called that before, so it kind of made it a little bit more like user-friendly when I knew that I was building a scene with this stamp set rather than just making a card. So if that helps you when you look at stamp sets, and I wonder how many stamp sets I really haven't looked at as a scene builder stamp set before and let them pass by without knowing that. But also, so if you don't have a new mini catalog, you can see them on my online store, kathyhouse.stampinup.net. And don't forget about the celebration catalog. So celebration is of course January through February, and it's rewards for just buying stuff. So you have to check into that. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know, and I'll answer all that I can. So like I showed you the card, it looks like this. Is that little guy not adorable? And let me show you a few tricks and ideas along the way. So I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock. This is just our basic, well, I can't pick it up, there we go. Our basic white. This is 3 3/4 by 5. It's just going to be that front layer on our card. And when I decided to build a scene, I wanted to kind of frame my scene, so I'm going to go ahead and just take my scoring tool, and I'm going to use the fine point of my stylus and score it at 1/4 of an inch. Or maybe 1/8 of an inch. No, 1/4 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to score down here 1/4 of an inch, and then just do that on all 4 sides. Score here, there, and then there. So now I don't know if you can see it on the video. There we go. But I have that little, kind of just gives a little bit of personality and character onto my cardstock. That's simple. So let's go ahead and stamp. I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer stamp set, and I just think the Pierce mat helps you get that nice solid image on your paper. And we're going to use garden green ink. Now I'm going to stamp it and then have my blender pen ready because I'm going to color some of those by just using the ink that I'm going to stamp with. So I have the large tree here, part of the stamp set. I'm going to ink that up in the garden green. I'm going to ink him pretty good. I want to make sure he's nice and inky. Probably make a little bit of a mess, but up here in this corner, let that ink sink into the paper. I'm just applying firm pressure, not a lot of pressure. I don't want to smash the stamp onto my paper, but I do want to make sure that paper or the ink has a chance to go in or soak in. Then I'm going to take my blender pen and just those little leaves, I'm going to just spread that ink around a little bit. Just on those little leaves, and it won't take long. Now, for the inside, I would do the same thing on the inside. I'm not going to do it today just so you don't have to stare or watch me and add that much extra time to my video, but I'm going to stamp, because I'm doing this for a swap, and I'm going to stamp this same tree with all these leaves and pretty little flowers on the inside as well. So I won't really finish my card today. I'll do that another time so you don't have to sit and watch me color all this stuff again. Okay, so I got all my little leaves. I'm going to make sure my blender brush is clean just by scribbling on the paper, and there wasn't enough ink, so it really didn't even... Wait, now I found a little spot. Now I'm going to fix. Okay, so let's do some more coloring. I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to use Stampin' Right markers today. I kind of like the thin brush of the Stampin' Right markers, and compared to the blends bleed, but the Stampin' Right marker, they don't bleed quite like the blends do. So I'm going to just color the trunk here, and I'm going to use a heavy touch down here to make it a little bit thicker, and then do a lighter touch as it goes up. There we go. So just a little bit of, like I said, crumb cake on the trunk of my tree. And then with Bumblebee here, I'm going to just color the petals of the flowers. Now this might be a little tedious to watch. I'm going to try to hurry. I probably won't do a very good job, but it doesn't take much, and I don't think it's going to take too long. But just a really light touch, because I don't want to ruin the tip of the marker tip on my Stampin' Write marker, or the brush tip on the Stampin' Write marker. Obviously I cannot color and talk at the same time. But real quick, just going around the edges of those little flowers, or getting the flower petals. I'm going to leave the center for another color. And I think because I'm using a light touch, that it won't, the green's not going to blend in with my yellow. Plus maybe it has dried enough that it won't matter anyway. Okay, so we're almost done. I have one more little over there. Now this was Bumblebee, because it's just another color of cardstock I'm going to use in a minute. And then I'm going to bring, I'm going to throw in here some Calypso Coral, threw them clean on the floor, and grab that little brush tip and get those little centers. Now some of my Stampin' Write markers, I'll be honest with you, I got when I first became a demonstrator 15 years ago, and they're still hanging around. I think that the tip of the marker doesn't last as long as a marker does, which was a bummer, but markers do last almost forever.
Okay.
So then I'm going to bring in that green again, and a little bit of, well, this little tuft of grass, and I'm going to just stamp it a couple places here on my card. Okay, and then one more, I'm going to bring in some cinnamon cider and the words here from the stamp set, and they say finding a friend. Let me see, let me stamp it and then I'll tell you what it says. It says finding a friend is the best discovery of all. Let that sink in, and look how cute that is. So let's go ahead and put our card together now. We're almost done, believe it or not. Oh no, first though, I want to take my Wink Estella, and now that's just like a little shimmer brush, and I'm going to put a little shimmer on just these petals on my tree. And I know these little places like this don't take a lot of shimmer, but when you have a bunch of little ones like this, it just adds that little bit of bling to your card, and it's really going to show up. I'll make a little bit of special bling right there, just a little bit of glimmer. And then, you know, I do need to clean up my pen, make sure there's no yellow. Okay, there's not. Okay, so now let's put our card together. I have a piece here of oh, I lost my Bumblebee, and it is, almost put tape on the wrong side. I can't do two things at once. My granddaughter is here, and she came in and distracted me a little bit. She's so cute, but she's very distracting. So the Bumblebee is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to layer my little piece of basic white, which did I ever tell you is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to lay that there, and then I have a card base. This is just jade, and it is normal 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to lay this right here flat right on top of that. But look how cute that little scenery is on that card front. But like I said, and then on the inside, I would go ahead and stamp that tree, color, and do the same thing on the inside. But let's make the little hedgehog now. So I have a scrap here of crumb cake, and I'm going to use some Memento black ink. There is a piece of paper stuck to my stamp. There we go. And ink him up good. Now, the way the punch works, I'm going to stamp him at the top of my paper like this. There we go. And then put that right there into my punch. Now I believe, and I haven't played yet, but I believe this punch wouldn't even need the stamp. You could do the two pieces out of different colors and you wouldn't even have to stamp, because this little dot here could be his eye. And let me show you what I'm talking about, because when I first did my hedgehog, I did him all in this cinnamon cider ink. I stamped him in cinnamon cider on the crumb cake and on the cinnamon cider, which we're going to do next in the black. But then I didn't think it looked dark enough, so I took one of those little tiny circles out of the punch and put it on his eye, so it looked like that. But then once I stamped him again in the black, I liked him better in the black. So like I said, on that cinnamon cider, I'm going to stamp my little hedgehog again. Where did he go? And I'm going to just take a piece of paper here so I don't get ink on my grid paper, and I can use it again and again. A little scrap. We're going to stamp him here. Just get the top of him. Let that ink sink in. And yeah, I forgot my pierce snap, but looks like it turned out okay anyway. Let's put this way so I can get my fingers in there. And now we're going to punch out just the top of him like this using that punch again. Let me turn it a little bit like this. Oh, I think it moved at the last second. Let me get him back in there again. Line him up. It looks like that. And I don't know why, but every time I punch this out, I think of Elvis's hair. So I always call that the hedgehog's Elvis's hair. If you can explain that one to me, I'll take the help, because, or tell me, does it remind me of, or does it remind you of Elvis's hair as well? But I'm going to just take some liquid glue here. And since they were punched by the same punch, you can line them back up again. And now look how cute you have that little hedgehog with two different colors. And now I think because he was stamped in the black, he doesn't need that little eyeball anymore. I think he looks cute just like that. So I'll save the trip of the task of trying to put that eyeball on there. Let's put a couple dimensionals on the back of him. And then decide exactly where we want him on our little scene here on the front of our card. And I think this time he's going to look cute. Oh, I don't want to totally cover up that tuft of grass, so I'll put him about right there. And look how cute he looks. Now, to finish off the card, I'm going to bring in these little brushed brass butterflies. Let's see if I can find the edge. Here we go. And they are, believe it or not, they look very 3D, but they're very flat, so I think they would be male to put in the male friendly. And they are really cute and shiny, and they're going to add a lot of touch here to my card. So I'm going to put one here, and then I'm going to take one of those large, and they are adhesive back, so they're already stuck down, except, you know, I can't have them all facing the same way. One of them has to face, there we go, a little bit of a different way. Okay, so there's my card today. Very fast, very simple, but oh so cute. I don't really like where my hedgehog is placed. In fact, I wish now I would have put my words maybe a little bit higher, but I'm going to peel that hedgehog off, and I'm going to move him around. I'm going to take those dimensionals off, and let's see if I can't place him a little better. That's the cool thing about paper crafting. If you don't like what you've done, you just got to rip it off and do it again. So let's put him a little bit higher. I think I like him better on that tuft of grass and there. I don't know why, but I think he looks better there. Alrighty, there you go. So thanks for watching. And just so you know, usually my videos are Mondays and Fridays, but I've been having a real tough time getting my videos done on Fridays, so I've decided to move them to Thursdays. So I'll be here Thursday mornings. However, this Thursday I have an eye appointment. I have terrible eyes, and I need to go see the eye doctor, so I'll be doing it Thursday afternoon. But then starting next week, it'll be Monday afternoons and Thursday mornings. Sorry about the changes. I hope that all works for you. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you back here, like I said, Thursday afternoon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.